Hi, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Girlfriends Talking, where your story matters. I am your host, Ramona Torres, and wherever you are, grab a drink, grab a seat, and get comfortable. And before we start tonight, make sure that you like and follow our Girlfriends Talking Facebook page, and don't forget to subscribe to our Girlfriends Talking YouTube channel. Go ahead and tag a friend if you're watching on Facebook. And if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and send a text and let everyone know. Tonight, I am going to be speaking to Jason Clawson. Jason has an amazing story, an amazing gift that God has placed in his hand, and I'm going to let him share that with you tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him in. Hi, Jason.
Hey, Ramona, thanks for having me. This is so exciting.
I saw you in the green room jamming.
I
It's
was I
something
was feeling the music. Yeah, this is
right?
exciting.
Yeah. So Jason, where are you tonight?
So I'm in Utah. So that's where born and raised, and that's where I find myself, and my journey has taken me. So this is where I'm at.
What's the weather like over there?
It's probably 95 and really hot. So
Okay.
the
Okay,
eight
it's 87 here in PA.
oh wow.
Mhm.
A little better than us.
Yeah. So, Jason, thank you for coming on tonight. Once again, welcome to Girlfriends Talking. Jason, share a little bit about your story so that we can get this conversation started.
Awesome. So I think the where I like to start my story is about 4 years ago, I felt like life was going as good as it could, where you have this dream scenario where I was a clinical director of a recovery program as a therapist. I was building a dream home. My wife just recently lost 100 pounds, feeling really good about her weight and herself and her self confidence. And then even my boys were thriving in sports and school. And I was like, this is going, this is the way I envision life. And then a month went by, and that's where my wife came to me and says, hey, Jason, I don't feel good. There's a lump in my stomach. I don't know what's going on. So we talked and felt that. And we noticed there was a problem. But I said, let's hold off. Let's wait for a week, and then we'll see how it goes. And then in a matter of weeks, week it had grown, and that's where concerns and that's where we thought, okay, let's put this on hold. We still have a good life to worry or enjoy. Let's take it care of, and we'll come back. So, series of appointments and scans, and before we knew it, we were up at the hospital doing exploratory surgery, trying to find out what was wrong with my wife, and waiting in the waiting room, and with my wife's parents and my sister and her best friend, and then the doctor came in and said, Jason, looked me in the eye and said, Jason, I'm sorry, your wife has stage 4 colon cancer. And in a short moment, I went from my life was going so good to what do I do and how do I get through this and how am I going to tell my kids and how are we going to pay for it? And it just like it really began to rock me. And I just said, why? I'm helping people. I'm giving back. We're active in the community and where people need us. This doesn't happen to young people. This happens to people that have lived a full life. So again, what happened
How old
was,
was your wife, if you don't mind me
oh
asking?
yeah, thank you. She was 38.
Oh, wow.
So it was like, really, God, what's going on? Like, why, why are you giving us this challenge? So, and I remember a pivotal moment shortly after that when my wife was waking up. My wife, my doctor came in and told my wife, and we shed some tears. And then out in the hallway, I ran down and chased the doctor down. I says, "What can we do? How do we do this? What are the treatment options? What is her chances of living?" And she paused, Ramona, and she said, Jason, cancer has a way of enhancing your life.
Whew.
And I looked at her and I just was like, I began to get angry and just, I don't want my life to be enhanced. I want my life I want my life to be the way it was because I was enjoying it. Not, I don't want it to be enhanced. I don't want to have to go through this. And I think shortly after that, I was just so angry and upset, and I just went, why God? Like, I'm trying the best I can. I'm trying to do good things in the world, and why do you have to give this to me at this time when I'm trying to do the best I can? So
Jason, how old were your boys at the time?
so 4 years ago, so my oldest was 11 and my youngest was 6 years old. So I had two boys. So it's just like, you don't know except just like take a deep breath, say, okay, I'm going to fight. Um, I'm just going to fight and I'm going to work as hard as I can. So we were given 2 to 3 years life expectancy, and we did everything we can, from all the doctor recommendations to things that we could find online. And Ramona, like, we'd go back and try a scan, and the situation wouldn't get better every time. And we were just like, we'd build ourselves up. We're going to do this. And then we'd get bad news, and then it would just knock us down. And then we'd have to get back up. And again, I felt like, come on, God, give us a break. give us a miracle, give us a break. And we did this faithfully, and we were praying and going to church. And like, again, we were trying to do all we can. But after 9 months, we were at the funeral and we were saying goodbye to my sweet wife, and just had this moment of like, how am I going to do this? Like, how do I be a mom to my kids? How am I going to provide the love, and how am I going to do something that a mother can only provide? So I found myself, I call it the hybrid dad, trying to work, trying to be the discipline, hold boundaries, but also give love and care to my kids, and give what they were missing from my mom. And it was just like, I just struggled, like, and I was in this fog, and I was a therapist. And 8 days later, after my wife passed away, my work is saying, Jason, we need you back. And I was just like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this?
Because
And
your life came to a complete stop, but yet the world is still going, right?
and it's interesting you said that, Ramona, because I remember feeling like I'm in this bubble, and it's just slowly moving along. And I'm looking around, and everybody's happy, everybody's laughing. You look on social media, and everybody's posting their happy pictures. And I was like, how come I'm not happy? Like, how come I don't get a happy life? What did I do? So it's funny you said that. It's just like, I felt like kind of resentful and angry that like everybody got to live their life. But I had to suffer, and I had to go through this really difficult time where I was suffering, my boys were suffering, and it was like, how am I going to how am I get back on track? So what me as a male did is I just put on this, I call it my mask of masculinity. And then I'm just like, I'm okay.
You put your big boy pants on, right?
Yeah. And people would say like, how you doing? Do you need anything? I'm good. I'm fighting it. And I just pretended, and that just began to build up inside of me. And I just remember like, I would just be up in the middle of the night just going, I can't pretend. It's too hard. I'm struggling, like trying to help someone with their biggest challenges of their life when I'm going through a difficult time is overwhelming. But I wanted to be strong and be strong for my kids, but slowly it was just wearing on me. And I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. And after about 9 months, I remember sending out a text to my friends, my family, and I just said, hey, can you meet me at my house? I want to open up my heart and tell you what's going on. So 14 of my closest friends, neighbors, and family showed up to my house, and I call it a healing team that showed up, and I poured out my heart about what's going on. And I gave people permission to help me. Up to that point, people were willing to help, but it's almost like they needed to be invited into my circle to sit with me and my emotions, to speak my wife's name out loud, to look at me and Jason saying, "You don't look so good. Like, tell me what's really going on." So in my living room, I poured out my heart, and it was an amazing, powerful spiritual experience where everybody rallied around me, and we came up with how to help me. And the amazing thing is I identified a team captain, and the team captain was kind of helping me ride my ship. And my team captain, whenever things got so hard, I could text them one word, and that team captain would spread it out to everybody, and everybody had an assignment that they would jump in and take over, whether it be meals, laundry, housework. I mean, my parents were coming over and doing my laundry, but taking the stress off so that I could breathe and I could take care of my boys until I was stronger started to become my way of life, because I was willing to open up my heart and invite people into my life. And what I tell people is the opposite of loneliness is connection. The opposite of grieving is connection. The opposite of addiction is connection. And until I took off my mask and said, I just can't do this anymore. This is so hard, guys. I think that's where God stepped in and says, okay, I have an army of people waiting to help you. And you just needed to take the first hard step by opening up your heart that day in my living room.
Jason, I've never had an interview where I've cried. Oh, you're speaking my love language. You're speaking to me. Oh man, this interview wasn't a mistake. This was God appointed. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Keep sharing.
Thanks. I appreciate you sharing the emotion and connecting on a deep level. And it's my pleasure. After that healing team, I made a hard decision because me and my boys were operating on sad and lonely memories of my wife, and that wasn't sustainable. So I said, well, I'm going to quit my job, and I'm going to take the summer off, and I'm going to reconnect with my boys and make happy memories. So I stepped away from therapy. I sat down at the kitchen table. I made a bucket list with my boys. And I said, okay, our dad's home for the summer. What do we want to do to bring happiness and have fun memories? And we made a list of things to do. But I think the key is we reached out and we did them with people in our community on Facebook. And that became more connections. People could check on us. People could check on my boys. And it just became just this fun summer where we enjoyed each other, and we look back and those were some happy memories. And one of the things on there was create a lemonade stand. And I remember going through a hard time, and our friends, when my wife was going through treatment, brought me a lemonade basket of yellow basket of fun stuff that meant so much. So I said, let's make a lemonade stand and raise $100, and let's make baskets and go give to people that have lost a spouse or going through cancer. So in our front yard during COVID, we made a lemonade stand, and by the time the lemonade stand was done, I had $1,500, and I was blown away, and I was like, what do we do now? So reached out to a neighbor, and she made 25 lemonade or 25 sunshine baskets. And then we began to find people that were struggling, that lost a spouse, lost a loved one, a family member. We would go deliver them. And it became a way of life of healing and something we look forward to. And my boys begin to be happier and healthier, as well as me, because I was serving other people. I was thinking of others other than myself. And these have been some of the most spiritual experiences of delivering in the home where people lost someone and saying, it sucks. I love you. I care about you. I get it to some degree. and hug them. And it became such a powerful experience that I began sharing it on Facebook and our messages. And then people across the country are like, I want a basket. And I said, I don't know how to do that. So I went back to the drawing board and we made a box and we started sending them out across the country and began to heal people and that's our mission. And one thing that was powerful is I gave my boys a purpose when they were struggling. We began to focus in on yellow things, whatever store we went through. And my boys would see only yellow. And they said, what about that? What about that for the basket? What about that? So they began to think about other people, and their pain began to heal because they were thinking about other people. And that was a proud moment for myself as a dad, and trying to teach them how to get through a hard time of they could serve others and they could look for opportunities other than focusing on the pain. And again, it's not perfect. Don't think I live this perfect life, but it was taking the edge off, and they were able to be more themselves. And because they were thinking, I think they were on God's errand to help people. In a sense, He was blessing them with the medicine of healing and being happier again.
Amen. That is awesome. 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 So, how do we find out about these giving boxes? Tell us how, because didn't you connect with somebody? Do you do this by yourself? Do you do this with a partner?
So I do this with a partner. And
Oh, wait a minute, but there's more to your story, though. I interrupted you. No. There's more to your story. There's more to
that's
your story.
totally all right.
Yes.
I mean, the guy that I do Giving Sunshine that we partnered with, this is the ironic thing, is he was a neighbor, and he was my biggest support when I was struggling. He would take me to lunch. He would look into my eyes and say, Jason, how are you really feeling? What do you need? I'm here for you. And for a male to connect like that, it allowed me to just be super vulnerable. And vulnerability invites vulnerability. And I invited him into my heart to help me heal. So he's walked the path long before my wife got cancer. He's been in my life, but he really stepped in and walked the path with me. And I remember he took me to lunch. He does online marketing. And he took me to lunch. He goes, I love what you're doing, Jason. He says, I'm kind of jealous that you're doing this. And I was like, you're jealous of my life? And he said, well, to be honest, yeah, you're doing something that you're passionate about and you're helping people. He said, that is something I desire. So we talked about how we can take Giving Sunshine and be able to provide it for more people. And for a year, we met at lunches and we talked about it. And what we've done is we've combined to create Giving Sunshine to help more people. And what it is it's not just a basket. What we were doing before is just a basket of fun yellow stuff. But what I've actually done is went back to the drawing board and find out what works through my journey, through my 15 years of helping people with grief and trauma and addiction. And we made tools in the box that work and help. Because I wanted people to not suffer alone like I did. I wanted people to get happier and healthier again. I just don't want to put a Band-Aid on the problem. I want them to be happy. So we've created tools in the box that gives back and helps people through the grieving and helps them find joy quicker than if they were doing it on themselves. So I'm super happy, and I've taken my journey and my pain and I've turned it into something that can help so many people. And Ramona, remember what the doctor said to me?
Yes, I do, because I put that as the title of our program tonight.
And it has gone full circle. And sometimes I just sit here and I just go, yes, my life has been enhanced. even though I had to lose my wife in the process and I had to go through cancer treatment, my life has been so enhanced because of who I get to meet, who I get to help, how many families are better because I'm able to offer help and support, and my kids are happier. I feel like I'm connected with God stronger. It's led me to getting remarried to my sweetheart that also lost her husband to cancer, and together we're able to help and just and comfort those that stand in need of comfort, and it's almost like do God's will.
Yeah.
And my life is truly enhanced because of what I went through. But it's not, I didn't sit back and have to, I didn't sit back and say God bless my life. I tell people I had to do hard things and make hard decisions so that he can bless my life and he can enhance my life.
I don't believe in coincidences, right? You're a therapist, right?
Yeah.
And I think God knew you were going to be a therapist, right? He knows all things, right? And
Uh-huh.
so, who better than to be able to walk this out, and start this giving sunshine, and then be able to add those different, components. Like you say, you don't want to just put a band-aid on it. And so, yeah, it's amazing. Girlfriends Talking is, your story matters, and your story matters, Jason.
Yeah.
I love it. Love
I,
it.
I learned a couple years ago, this is kind of ironic too, is what my name means in Greek is healer. Isn't that
No
crazy?
way. Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's pretty ironic that I'm a therapist and now I'm in this position where sharing my story, I'm able to help heal. So yeah, God knew what he was had in store for me. I just had to embrace it and accept it.
Yeah, it's faith and obedience, obedience and faith. So, and tell me about the boys. How did you meet Valerie?
Valerie, uh,
No, I'm sorry. Valerie was your wife. I'm sorry. Your
yes,
new wife's name
her name
is
her name is Kirsten.
Kirsten. How did you meet Kirsten?
So when we lost our spouse, obviously you need lots of support and connections, and we added. There's a couple support groups on Facebook that we added, and we were on the same support group, so we could see each other from a distance, our posts and what's going on, and so we knew about each other, but it didn't. We didn't get connected until we were on a dating app.
Okay.
And we connected and matched, and then we begin to talk to each other, and in a matter, like, I remember connecting, and I'm so old school, I just said, hey, I don't want to text, can I just call you? And I just called her.
That's me.
and,
Can we have a conversation?
and we ended up, the first time we met, we talked for 3 hours, and I just knew there was something special. And together, it's just been amazing to help each other. And we've helped each other in so many ways, as far as we're open and we are pretty transparent about honoring and talking about our spouse, because that we feel that's just enhancing our life and talking about each other. So we talk about them often. We talk about them like they're still here. And because that helps us grow and helps us continue to do the work. And it's interesting that sometimes when I'm struggling, she's able to step in and say, are you okay? I feel this, and we can help each other through this path. And we've done a lot of work with each other to be able to do that. And it's been so amazing. And I think God knew we needed each other
Mhm.
so that we can help each other. I mean, an example of this is we went to dinner and we're walking out to the parking lot, and I always open the door and give my wife a kiss before she gets in, and there was a lady that just lost her husband like a month ago, and she goes, I can tell you really love your wife, and I'm happy that I know I can have that again. And it led into a discussion about her losing her husband. And then I invited my wife out there, and we were able to just help and support her. And without even thinking, it's just like, Kirsten, you need to be a part of this. And we, like cancer, we've come to the conclusion that we find people with cancer all the time. We find widowers, we find people that need help, and that's our calling and our mission, to be able to help people. And we know that that's what we went through, and now it's our opportunity to give back and help people walk through that path.
Amen. Amen. Because you walked through it and you had to figure it all out, and you had to send that text out, which, by the way, that was amazing.
Thank you.
I'm a
Thank you.
caregiver for my dad, and I've got a message because I've been putting that strong face, that strong mask too, and not wanting to ask for help.
Mhm.
Right. And I've
Yeah.
had people say, do you need help? Let me know. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And so I think I need to send out a text and get a team captain and, and do the same thing. Oh, what a
It's helpful.
blessing.
I like to say that I guess males have a hard time expressing emotions. I think we all do, but I'm always happy to say, guys, it's okay to share emotions. It's harder to keep it in, and once you're able to let it down, it invites people into your circle to help you. So it's okay. It's okay to let down, and those are the strong men, is when they can open up and they can share emotion, not the ones that try to hold on to emotion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If there's a wife that's listening to this, you heard it straight from a guy. We didn't make this up. He's giving the guys permission to be vulnerable and to open up. So tell me, how did the boys take to Kirsten? It's Kirsten, right?
Yeah, there was interesting because we were nervous. I mean, it would have been about 3 years before Valerie passed away, but we were nervous. We wanted to do it right, and we wanted to do it kind of slowly. But the interesting thing about this is, my boys, I didn't really realize they were ready to have a they're ready they're ready to have a mother figure back into their life. And I was hesitant because I felt like I was like, I don't want to have them feel like we're replacing Valerie, but they would say things, and they would say, well, the tipping point was like, hey, Dad, if she's your girlfriend, why don't you have her over and hang out? And they said little things to invite her over, and they were more ready than we thought.
Mhm.
But I had to really take my ears and listen to what they want and what they needed, and they were ready. But I wasn't. I struggled to hear that. So once they were able to come in, they just connected to her so quickly, and it's been such a great match to be able to have her come in. Um, my younger one is took to her more and started calling her mom really early. And I could realize that my teenager needed some support and some different things that she could provide. And it's been amazing. I think the thing about a situation like this is, we've done a lot of praying and asking God to help out the process so that it could gel together, and it's been such a blessing. And I don't regret anything. It's been amazing, and it's enhanced my life once again.
Awesome. Oh, that's a beautiful story. So tell us, how can we find Giving Sunshine,
Yeah,
whether it be to get a box, whether it be to donate? What are your biggest needs? How can Girlfriends Talking help
awesome.
you?
So
I
you
always
can
want to help. How can I help you?
So if you want to just uplifting Facebook and Instagram, we have one called Giving Sunshine Daily, and we share the people we give boxes to and happy uplifting messages, because everybody needs that right now. Or you can go to our page. It's called givingsunshine.com, and you can buy a box. You can hand deliver it, or you can put in an address and we can ship it to that person. Or also, you can sponsor a box. Um, if you just want to buy a box, we'll find the person to deliver it to. There's a lot of people struggling, and people, that's a tricky part is like some people say, well, I don't know someone that's grieving or someone that has cancer. Okay, let us find them. I find them all the time.
They're
That's my,
around us. We just
yeah,
have
that's my
to,
calling.
yeah, yeah, they're around us. We just have to pay attention. We have to, know our neighbors and, people that we work with and people that we go to church with and,
Yep.
people in the community. So if you're not involved and you don't know of anyone, Jason can find somebody for you.
Yeah. I mean, we had a hospice bereavement company reach out and they say we're connected to funerals, and they send us list of people that need help. And it's like we don't know what to do. So having a service like this where people could buy a box or donate them, we would be happy either team up with a church, an organization where we could go deliver and go heal together and help out. So we have them ready. Again, they have the layers to help people. We've done the hard work. One of the things in that box that I want to touch on is we have support cards. And what it is it helps to tell you what to say to the person or what to text them so you can help support them. And the person that's gone through a hard time, they just give the envelope to your support and they take over and they support you. And again, we've taken helping someone, we've taken the hard work out. It's just here's a box, here's some books that were written to be able to have those conversations or begin talking about those. We've done the hard work to help people through this process. Because again, I didn't want them to go with what I went through, or my boys or children that become a casualty. They get passed around all over. We don't know how to have those conversations. We have books and support to be able to help them. So let us partner up. Let's work together. Like, it's so hard to do this on your own or know what to say or how to help someone. Let's do this together. Let's heal together.
Absolutely. Now, do you have one box for everyone, or do you have different boxes based on their situation?
So currently we have a loss of a loved one box. We have a cancer box that's focused around cancer, and you have different books that set aside for them. The keychain on there says fighter. And then we have a general sunshine. So if you find someone that's going through like a difficult time in their life, depression, anxiety, you can send it to them and it walks them through. There's journal prompts in there, a year's worth, that are specific to be able to help people through that. They have those books and support cards. So those are the three boxes that we have. I mean, Ramona, we've had so much people requesting others. People are like, why don't you do one with divorce? Why don't you do one with suicide? Why don't you do the first responders? Like, there's so much need, but we just gotta. That's what we have now.
Mhm.
I mean,
And
we'll get there, but like, I mean, I need help.
yes, you
I
can't
can't
do
do
it by
this
yourself.
alone. I
Mhm,
need to be
mhm.
on amazing podcasts with you and your community. I need to be connected to whether it be some churches or some ministries that just don't quite get it. I'm in the process of finishing up a healing team booklet, and that walks you through creating your own healing team, like I talked about. So giving people a booklet that has you create your own system to be able to support you. So
That's
um,
huge.
I just want to help. I feel like I can't go fast enough, especially in the world today.
Mhm. Yes.
You probably feel the same way. It's like, I can't help enough people right now.
Yes, I know, I know, I know. I work a full-time job, and so, I can't do interviews all the time, and I've got my inbox full of people that are wanting to get their stories out, and so I'm like, hold on, and the
Yeah,
days go by fast in a month, is going by so fast in the years. And so, oh, well, Jason, thank you very much. Please tell Kirsten I said hello.
Yes.
Have her follow us on Girlfriends Talking, and I will put your websites on
Thank you.
the Facebook page and on YouTube when I go ahead and post it. What's the last thing you'd like to leave us with tonight, Jason? Something maybe that I didn't ask, that you forget to mention?
That's a loaded question. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I always go back my message of the power of connection. Um, when I would sit in therapy rooms with individuals that are holding on to their addiction, holding on to their depression, their trauma, it is such a lonely and difficult spot to be in. And I can't emphasize enough. And not everybody can just say, hey, everybody, kind of like I did, but starting to talk to someone and starting to connect, whether it be a therapist or your best friend, you got to start somewhere to be able to get the help and starting to relieve some of the pressure. And maybe your connection is with God. Start there, start with your best friend, start with family, and just build your community so you can experience some kind of relief and finding joy again. So connection is the medicine that will help you heal.
Amen. Amen. Joanna Cressman says, God bless you, Jason, for what you're doing. And she put beautiful with a little heart.
Thank you.
Oh, well, Jason, I love you with the love of Christ. I thank God for connecting us. I do want to help. So once we get off, we'll connect later. Stay in the green room while I say goodbye to our
Okay.
audience.
Thank you.
Say hi to your wife. Say hello to the boys. Tell them they have an auntie in Pennsylvania or a
Yeah.
TT. My parents are from Puerto Rico, so I'm Puerto Rican. They have a TT in Pennsylvania, and I have always wanted to go to Utah. So I think we're gonna have to plan a trip to Utah.
Please do.
Okay.
Let's
All
make it
right, brother.
happen.
I love you with the love of Christ. God bless. Stay in the green room. Girlfriends, thank you for joining us tonight. I'm going to be putting Jason Clawson's information on Giving Sunshine. These boxes are amazing. His story was powerful. He had me crying the first 5 minutes, and I'm like, oh my goodness, are my boogies running? I can't get a hold of a tissue. Yeah, I'm looking, I'm going, please don't. But please help Jason get these boxes into the hands. They're needed. People with cancer, people going through a divorce, people just going through something. Look at your neighbors, talk to your friends in church. You know someone that's going through something. Let's give them a little bit of sunshine, the way Jason's doing in Utah. Let's help them out, PA. Talk to your pastors, talk to your, women's ministry groups. This would be a wonderful youth project. Let's get his name and Giving Sunshine out. Let's help this brother in Christ. And so I love you all with the love of Christ. God bless you, and we'll see you soon.